Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name's Chris. I'm a videographer, photographer, and YouTuber. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Accsoon CineEye 5G wireless video transmitter. If you're new to the channel, then welcome. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you're not new to the channel, then you might remember that a couple of months ago, I reviewed the Hollyland Mars 300 and I was quite impressed. I'm going to be comparing the CineEye to the Mars 300 quite a few times during this video, just because they are quite comparable, but they have differences: the size, the price, and probably the target market. So this is the first time that I've seen the CineEye. It's the first time that I'm going to be using the CineEye. So let's try it out together and see how it works. So let's unbox it. Take the lid off. So the first thing you'll notice is just how small and compact it is. It's about the size of a credit card, that footprint. And if I put the Hollyland Mars 300 next to it, you can see that the Hollyland the unit itself is actually about the same size. But when you add on the antennas, and then you've got to have some kind of battery on the back of it, it will turn into quite a chunky device. And we have used the Hollyland a couple of different times during the last year on jobs, and setting it up can be a real pain, just because you have to find somewhere to mount this transmitter. I was using it on a Crane 2 with a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, and it is just a bit of a faff. Something with this smaller footprint, like when I hold it up to the camera, you can see just how small and thin it is, and the antennas just fold out, and you have this lovely small footprint device. Let's just take a look around the device so you can get an idea of the design and the I/O. So on the front of the CineEye, you've got the Accsoon logo with your battery indicator. On the right hand side, you've just got one USB-C port. On the back, there's nothing. On the side, you've got your HDMI port and your power button. And like I said earlier, the antennas just fold away into a lovely, small, neat package. So let's set that aside for the minute and we'll take a look at what else is in the box. So you get a piece of foam that obviously holds the CineEye in place. You get a piece of cardboard, and then you get the manual. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably not going to read the manual. If I get stuck, I'll take a look. And then you get an array of different leads. So we've got a HDMI to micro HDMI. That's probably what I'm going to use today, because I'm going to set it up with my A6000 to start off with. You get a regular HDMI. These are all quite a nice length. I think they're probably around 20 centimeters in length, and it's nice that they actually come with it, unlike the Hollyland, which I think didn't come with any leads. And then you've got the HDMI to mini HDMI. So I'm just going to download the app quickly, and we're going to take a look at how you set it up, how easy it is to get going, and what kind of picture we can expect to get. So I guess this is kind of how most people are going to use it. They're going to have the battery indicator towards them, and then they're going to have a lead going from the HDMI into the HDMI of the camera. And the really nice thing about the CineEye is it's actually got its own inbuilt battery. Managing the battery on something like the Hollyland can prove to be a bit of a nightmare, especially if you're using much bigger NPF batteries. The weight of it does become an issue. This has got a 3,500 milliamp battery, and apparently it can run for about 3.5 to 4 hours, no problem. So to power it on, you just hold the button on the left-hand side. As you can see, we've got a strip of LEDs that indicate the battery. It's really nice that you charge this up via USB-C, and I do wonder whether you could actually run it off of USB-C. I will try that out at some point. So I'm just going to turn the camera on, and I've got another camera over to my left which is lit quite nicely, so I'm just going to take this over there and then we'll take a look at the app. So the camera's over there focusing on another camera that's being lit up, so let's jump into the app. CineEye Pocket Image Transmission, make mobile devices into professional. And this is what makes the CineEye special. So with the Hollyland Mars 300, you obviously need a transmitter, you need a receiver, you need an NPF battery in both, or you need them powered by the mains. Then you need that signal to go into a monitor, which also needs a battery. So what makes the CineEye special is you just need that one little device, and then you can turn any iOS or Android device into a monitor. So if you're on set and you're on like a low budget or a medium-sized budget, and there are 3 or 4 people around you that want to be able to see what you're filming, then that is absolutely perfect. I can think of an example where I was filming in London a couple of months ago, and the director really wanted to see a feed, and to set up the Hollyland Mars 300 when I was running and gunning was quite a faff. And if you just had something like the CineEye, it would have been a breeze, because they could have just connected on their phone and seen exactly what I was doing. So the first thing you'll need to do is connect to the Wi-Fi of the CineEye, and I'm pretty sure the password is 12345678. So let's open up the Accsoon app, and we can see that it's selected CineEye at the top, but there are different models as well. And we're just going to click on monitor. Please wait for CineEye's LED to remain steady before connecting to the phone or tablet. It's steady, press OK. Turn the phone around, and as you can see, we have a pretty clear picture of my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, which is sat over there. And the question I know you're going to ask is, can you connect it to more than one device at the same time? And the answer is yes. So we currently have the iPad and the iPhone connected, and there are some pretty impressive tools within these apps. Let's use the iPad as the example. So I'm not going to go through all the different settings, I'm just going to go through a couple which I think are really great. So at the bottom you've got the different waveforms, you've got focus peaking. On an iPad, I think that's amazing. You've got false color, you've got histogram that you can add on, you've got zebra so you can see if it's overexposed, and you do have the ability to add LUTs. I haven't added any LUTs yet, and I'm kind of in two minds as to whether that would be any good anyway because of the color accuracy of the iPad, but it would be worth a try just to see how it worked. So under the More option, you have a range of different things that you can add onto display. You can add a center mark, you can add safe marker, ratio marker, mark color, mark width, zoom in, and a morphic. It's a really, really clever little system. The CineEye is now on the overhead camera, so let's check out the latency. We're filming directly down at the iPad, that's why you can see an iPad within an iPad within an iPad within an iPad within an iPad. So let's have a look. I'm just going to wave in front of it. I mean, for slow movement, it's okay. Let's do a quick movement. I definitely say that was usable if you're giving it to a director or to your client, just so they can see what you're filming. So who do I think the CineEye is for? If you're a YouTuber or content creator, I think it would be amazing for you if you already have an iPad or a large smartphone. When I make my videos like this, I have a monitor up to my left and I have a monitor down to my right. I have the one on the left which goes to this camera, and the monitor on the right goes to my overhead camera so I can see what I'm doing. If I'd have had the CineEye 6 months ago, I probably wouldn't have set these monitors up just because it is so good. And having that wireless capability, I mean, you don't want to see the state of this setup from my point of view. There are wires everywhere, and I have tried to keep it as neat as possible, but having something like the CineEye would have solved that problem immediately. So would you use it in a professional environment? I think so, definitely. I'd use it over the Hollyland just because of the size of these things, and with the batteries, it does make them very heavy. Something like the CineEye, it doesn't really add much to your setup, and just mounting it on the cold shoe on top of the camera is a perfect solution. So would I recommend it? Definitely. I think it's a really, really cool piece of kit that's affordable to most people. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe so you never miss another episode. If you've got any questions or comments, please put them in the comments section below. And if you fancy supporting the channel, I've just launched a Patreon page where you can support me for as little as $5 a month, and you'll get loads of behind the scenes photos and videos, extra content, and I'll give you a shout out at the end of each of my videos. If you want one-to-one training with me, I've also offered that as a package too. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.